Hi, I'm Matt Lowe, Zwift Power Up Cycling Podcast host, and welcome to the World of Zwift.
Hello and welcome to the World of Zwift. If you're looking for insider knowledge to help you get the most out of Zwift, then you're in the right place. And the right place this week is the new world of Umezi. Look at it. I love it deeply. Now, let's see what we've got coming up in this week's show. We find out how my intensive gravel challenge training regime is going. I warn you, there is sweat. There's more A to Zwift. I get my blend on in the Feedzone. King of the coaches, Shayne Gaffney, talks to us about the latest workout of the week. We get all of the highlights from the season finale of the ZRL. And Dave Towle and Hannah Walker drop in to discuss their favourite moments from the season. But first, we love hearing from fans of the show, which is you, hopefully. So please leave us a comment and hit the subscribe button below. And whilst you look for that button, I'm going to have a little think about whether I need a new bike or whether I do not. Yeah, of course I do. Which would make 12, one for each one of my fingers. Let's see what's going on in the rest of the Zwift universe this week, or as I like to call it, the Zwiftiverse. It's World Bike Day on the 3rd of June, and to celebrate, there'll be a group ride on Zwift in support of the Quebec charity who provide opportunities for children to participate in sport. Last week, cycling GK Ben Foster and Ineos Grenadiers rider Theo Geoghegan-Hart, well, they held a Giro Rest Day ride around Watopia, answering all sorts of questions from their fellow Zwifters. And I love this story that Rassam Bahati, in support of the Bahati Foundation, raising money for children across LA and America, is training on Zwift for his second attempt at winning RAM, the quite frankly ridiculous race across America. Good luck, Rassam. And to celebrate Pride Month, we got lots of new content for you in June, from the new Pride on Thumb to kit and locks and group rides and runs, which are led by LGBTQIA+ athletes. Keep an eye out for some cool new Pride monuments in-game as well. And for those in Oz or those who simply like to ride in the middle of the night, the Australian Community Badge Hunting Series will be starting this week. Every weekend this month, indoor cycling specialist Shane Miller will take you on a badge hunting mission, and there might even be some cheeky kit and locks in it for you as well. Another one for the Aussies, the Oz Cycling National Esports Cycling Series is back on Zwift with 6 races over 5 weeks. The series in 2020 had the 2 Zwift Academy winners from last year taking part, Neve and Jay. Taking place every 2 weeks, the series will be a great one to watch to see the strength of the riders from the Southern Hemisphere. Starting June the 1st, we've got a month-long Olympic Virtual Series celebration. Check out the link below for group rides, workouts and chase-style events, all culminating in a mass participation group ride in Japan featuring 24 different Olympic athletes. Last week, I spoke to coach Shayne Gaffney, who gave me a pretty sobering reality check about my gravel challenge. I'm now just past the first week, into week 2 of my 4-week intensive training regime. Here's how I got on in the first week. I warn you, there is crying and there is rain, sometimes together.
All right, day 1 of the training plan. I had a grip fest in 4 weeks. I'm doing a whole training plan put together by my man Shayne Gaffney. I realised it's not so sweet spot. 4.8 pieces of pizza. Oh, put them in me now. Day 2 of the training plan. When I say day 2, it's my second session of the training plan that Shayne Gaffney put together for me. And I've got on it as soon as I've got up, and I've attempted to ride fast. No breakfast, no food, no coffee. And I'll be honest with you, even though this is a fairly easy workout, I am struggling. Really struggling, like nothing on my legs. So what do you feel about how this room looks now I've just been in here?
You're dripping wet and your shoes are literally disgusting.
Bit much. Today's supposed to be, well, it's an optional training day. Don't have to do it if I don't want to, but you know what? What the hell?
OJ, how are you, my friend? How did the first week go?
I have enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the challenge. I've enjoyed having a coach. I've told people that I've got a coach now. They were very impressed that it was Mr. Shayne Gaffney, the Gaffer Gaffney. And I have liked having some structure. It took me a little while to get my head into doing training again because I miss racing. As soon as I stop racing, I miss it immediately. Miss racing on Zwift. And when I did the first sweet spot, which I'm going to turn not so sweet, first 2 of the intervals I thought were too easy. I was like, Shayne, you're not testing me here. And then I did the 3rd one and I felt my spirit exit my body.
How do you find you're fitting in the training? I know you have obviously a very busy full-time job. You're a family man.
Well, it's one of those, isn't it, that I'm having to find the time. I must admit, as soon as you go over an hour, I mean, this is why I do everything that's under an hour, because an hour sort of fits in when my wife's working and she's got an hour's break. It means that I can sort of skip in and do stuff then. I do have to ask you though, tomorrow is the long ride, 3 to 4 hours. The weather looks terrible.
Yeah, this race is called Grit Fest, right? Not Happy Fest.
Basically, what you're saying to me is get some grit.
I'm saying get some grit, OJ.
All right,
exactly.
Okay. God.
Today's the day, according to Shayne Gaffney's training plan, where I do my long ride, my endurance ride. 3 minutes done, and already cold and wet. Oh, I missed my turbo. Hey! This is it. There's moments that make you wish you had a bigger rig. Oh my God. Okay, right. I've got back in from the ride. 3 hours and 5 minutes completed, which is less than Shayne asked me to do. But in the circumstances, weather-wise, it was the wettest and the coldest I've ever been. I cannot feel my hands. I mean, look at that. It's disgusting. Ugh. I feel like I committed to the program there. I feel like I committed to it. Physically, don't feel too bad. I'm just not capable of rational thought. I'm going for a shower. Goodbye.
Well, you may be saying right now, well, that's very nice for you, OJ, getting personalised workout information from Shayne Gaffney. It's not just limited to me because you can get exactly the same thing with our workout of the week. So here he is, the king of all cycling coaches, Shayne Gaffney, with the workout of the week called Fran's Sprinting Pride.
This week's workout is Fran's Sprinting Pride. This week's workout of the week was created by Fran Bambust and starts our Pride activation. After a warm-up, we move on to a sprint-focused workout, which will ramp up to full gas efforts twice. Fran recommends locking the doors, lowering the blinds, firing up the race machine, and putting on your clips, because we're having a kiki. And remember, these can be done as group workouts. Be sure to check out the recommended Spotify playlist too, which can be found in the workout description.
O is for off-road.
Back in the early 80s, intrepid riders threw themselves down mountains on clunky vintage road bikes, created a brand new sport. Fast forwarding, and intrepid Zwift staff threw themselves into the challenge of creating countless kilometers of trails and gravel roads through the wildlands of Watopia. When they emerged after many months, a seminal era in Watopia's history began. Welcome to mountain biking on Zwift. Now go ahead and power up your companion app and head to Titans Grove. Keep your eyes peeled for the trailhead, and when you see it, select turn. Select one of the new mountain or gravel bikes to ride the trails on. Or you may want to pay homage to the forebears of mountain biking and shred the trail on a TT bike. Whatever you're riding, see you at the bottom.
Now it's time for the Feedzone, the part of the show where I try out the latest ride fuel trends. So you don't have to, and again, you've been nice to me, because this week, it's smoothie time. Now in front of me here, I have carrot, I've got ginger, apple, beetroot, raspberries and blueberries, because according to Cyclists magazine, this smoothie is great before a long indoor ride session, as the beetroot helps boost endurance by reducing the amount of oxygen your muscles need to perform for longer. Beetroot's good for you. Who knew? So let's get our blend on, because if we put the blueberries in, we put our carrot in, rasps, bit of ginger, still with the outside on, which is interesting. There goes the apple, and then, get in there, little apple, then it's the beetroot. Now we're gonna moisten this up with a little splash of coconut water, not too much. Soups on more, soups on more, soups on more. And here we go. So stand back, please. If anybody saw the other episode where I ended up with a whole load of drink down my front, we'll know how this is about to go. God, I need turbo mode. I'm done. So there we go. Our beetroot smoothie is ready to taste. I love a smoothie. Wow, that is fully agricultural. I'm not saying it's bad, I'm saying it's agricultural, which is a good thing because I look a bit like a farmer. So, 100%, and I mean this, no jokes, that is brilliant. And if it's going to help me when I'm riding indoors on Zwift, it's going to make my muscles need less oxygen when I'm racing, great. Now, if there is an indoor ride snack you swear by, let me know in the comments below, and I could try it out in the coming weeks. And I have seen the comments, people saying it needs to be horrible again. I'm up for it. Do your worst. It was an intense final week of the ZRL, an explosive week of the ZRL, so let's see how the women got on. Spoiler alert, there was a breakaway.
It's time for the finale of Season 3. Race 8 heading to Surrey Hills and Zwift's London World.
44 kilometers of racing and just less than 1,000 meters of elevation.
This one is going to be an absolute monster.
There's not many riders left in this front group. Just look how split the race is. Nelson just picked up the post there. Louise Huback taking maximum points.
When you look at who has been winning out here, those women are all safely ensconced in this group.
I know we're in a strong place here. And look at this for 5 riders to go clear.
Catherine Curry is bridging now.
Wow.
The Queen of the Mountain points have been really, really going to Heino.
What have these riders got left? Nelson, she's opened up a gap of 1 second with 750 meters to go. Curry, she opens up that gap to Nelson. She has 4 bike lengths, but she's going to take the victory in the finale of the ZRL. Nelson with the second.
All heart today from Catherine Curry.
Well, just look at the margin that Heino Racing Team took Season 3 of the ZRL by. Team Swedish Swifters, a wonderful job there to seal the deal in 2nd overall. Movistar E-Team, they managed to hold on to that podium position with only Beth McIver in that front group with 111 points. What a way to round up this final night of the ZRL. Brilliant finale.
Another win for Catherine Curry, who is always consistently jaw-dropping in the things she does. Now, how did the men get on?
Race 8 heading to Surrey Hills and Zwift's London World. It's going to be majestic. If you can't make 6 watts plus per kilo, not even part of the conversation right now. Stefan Kirchmeier's going to try. Ollie Jones, though, will punch through. The race is on. Ollie Jones is going to make this a miserable trip up Leith Hill for quite a few riders. Kirchmeier is moving up into 11 watts per kilo, so he's going to pick up 15 points on Leith Hill. Pim van Diemen here fighting. They're going to have a hard time bringing him back. It's Pim van Diemen.
He will not stop.
It looks like Pim van Diemen just might do it. The world team, Movistar, is now esports history being made as they take the win with Pim van Diemen. Freddie Ovid for second. Canyon Esports Season 3's champions, 124 points. Congratulations, guys. As BZR Sports Solid, we're so close. Movistar ends up in third. My congratulations to all of the riders and directors that took part in our third ZRL season. You really put on a great show.
And here we are at the end of Season 3 of the ZRL. In fact, we're at the end of a first year of ZRL racing action. We're approaching our first birthday. So to talk about what has been a great third season and a great final race as well is Dave Towle and Hannah Walker. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. What a great final race. But let's start, though. Let us start with the season in the whole. Dave, talk me through. What's been the story of this season in the women's?
Boy, I mean, so when you look at it, first off, it was incredibly fun to watch things tighten up in Season 3. Heino was really challenged. The way that we went into the season, there were some tweaks that were done with the points that really added to excitement along the way. And I have to say that this was by far the best season that we've had so far. The racers themselves have really brought it to another level. We're refining things out there. And I think that it's no secret what Heino has been doing has been incredibly successful, and we're starting to see the other teams adapting those techniques and really riding like a cohesive team rather than 5 individuals all wearing the same jersey.
I mean, I never disagree with Dave, Hannah, but would you agree with that? Would you say that Heino have just gone through this season as the dominant force again? And would you see them doing the same again come Season 4, which is, yes, a few months off?
I would agree partly with Dave. They haven't had it all their own way in all the rounds. They've won 5 of the team classifications on the night. Then we saw Movistar take an overall team victory on the Champs-Elysees evening, which was brilliant for them, brilliant addition for them to come to the team. And then Canyon Esports, they also won a round as well. So we're starting to see a little bit of a mix-up of teams starting to get some victories under their belt. But still, Heino, they still played a good game.
Well, Heino take the third season of the ZRL to add to their other 2 victories in Season 1 and Season 2. And it's been the same in the men's as well, with Canyon winning their third straight season. But, Dave, the story in the men's, I mean, the journey from race 1 to race 8, I mean, that has been a real roller coaster.
Yeah, it really was. I mean, if you look back on Season 2, that was a complicated path to taking the season win, that's for sure. This one, though, what a throwdown it was. Credit where it's due, OJ, and the BZR Sports Solid team, they took them down to the last kilometer of the Season 3's final race. It was really impressive to see how hard those 2 teams fought. And what was fascinating to me was, if you look at that finale, Canyon didn't stack the top 10, but they worked so hard on collecting points at the bonuses that we had, those intermediates along the way. That made a huge difference.
In the men's, you don't hear the name Canyon that much in the races. Yet, come the end of the race, there they are, at the top of the standings.
I think keeping themselves hidden, they want to make sure that they maximize the draft of the other riders. They want to keep themselves anonymous almost, and only make an effort when it is really crucial, when it's it's game time, and that's when they need to perform. So I think likewise with Heino, Canyon Esports have Reese Howell as their sports director, and also does a great job of directing these riders. And it really does speak for itself with the results when you see it at the end of the season.
What we have now is the first significant break in the ZRL through the Northern Hemisphere summer. So a few months off, Season 4 will be back. How much do you think the teams just need to rest, Dave, to look at their tactics? Because they have been on it. Yes, there still will be racing, but maybe not the highest level of racing for a few months.
Absolutely. This time will be critical. It's really good for the health and the mental health. I have to be honest, these riders go through an awful lot. Every single week, Tuesdays have become really crunch time for them. And, you look at all of the issues. We had some riders that were literally physically having to move location for the final race. Kristen Kolchinsky moving to her sister's house to race because her internet was spotty at the place where she was. And this speaks to, Hannah mentioned it during the race, but this speaks to the dedication that these riders have. They're willing to completely adjust their life to be a part of the ZRL, and we really, really appreciate it.
We do. We love them for it. Well, Dave, Hannah, thank you as always. Roll on season 4. Once again, I've been scouring the ZRL rider cams for my Headband Hero of the Week. I shall don this to tell you this week's winner is Ollie Jones. Here he is right now, Ollie Jones in his lovely Canyon kit, staring straight into an oven. That's possibly why he has to have the fan on, but a great, great headband and a lovely oven to go with it. Maybe move back a bit, you'll be a bit cooler, Ollie. And just an honourable mention goes out to somebody who's not wearing a headband. That is Ross Fawcett of Team Draft. But he does win the Ultimate Pain Cave. Look at this. That is the Isle of Skye, and a wistful Scottish voice in my ear tells me just over his right hand, that is the Old Man of Store. And that's it for another week in the world of Zwift. It has been a blast. We'll be back soon with more Zwifting goodness. But in the meantime, go get yourself involved in Pride Month and let us know what you've been up to in the comments below. We do love to read them. Until next week, ride on.